Hey everyone, before we get started with today's episode, I've got some big news that you don't want to miss. It is official. On Thursday, November 2nd at midnight Eastern, the price of the Families Fly Free membership is going up permanently. So now would be a great time to get in at the lower price and still get all the same value that you would get if you ended up paying the higher price after Thursday. Plus, it's the perfect time of year to get our simple fly-free system in place so you're ready to roll for 2024 and beyond to save thousands of dollars and travel beyond your wildest dreams. It is truly time to put travel with your family back at the top of your to-do list. Now on to today's episode. Do you love to travel and save money? Or do you wish you could travel but money is holding you back? You're in the right place. Welcome to the Families Fly Free podcast, where I show you how to fly your family free forever using my simple fly free formula. I'm your host, Lynn Mettler. My family of four has mastered the art of flying free as simply as possible since 2015, and I want to show your family how to do it too. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Families Fly Free podcast. I'm Lynn Mettler. I hope you're having a great start to your week this week. We have had fun here at my house the last couple of weeks. We've been to a lot of events in a short amount of time, including Jerry Seinfeld, who came to our area, which was amazing. This was a bucket list thing for me. I've always wanted to see Jerry Seinfeld. How can you not go see him when he's coming to town? And he was at Indiana University, so just south of us. That was fantastic. And then we got to see John Mayer live in concert on his solo tour. He came to Indianapolis, and so that was a bucket list thing for my husband, and he was really fantastic, of course. And then we've been to two sporting events as well. We are lucky to live in a big city where we have access to NFL teams and NBA teams. And so we went to see the Colts play. Unfortunately, they are no good this year, haven't been good for a long time, but we can always keep hoping, right? And then lastly, just this past weekend, went to a Notre Dame football game, which is one of my favorite things to do. Such a beautiful campus up there. Of course, Notre Dame football, there's nothing quite like going to a Notre Dame football game. So fun and so much tradition there. And they had a fantastic game. They made up for the Colts. And we really enjoyed that. So I say all of that just as a continual reminder. At least my philosophy is always to go and do these things if you can afford them while you have the opportunity, while you can, because you've heard me say many times, we don't know what's coming around the corner. And I'm just a big believer of enjoying your life while the opportunities are at hand. And especially when it comes to travel as well. And that's why I just encourage you so much. If you want to travel more than you are right now, and you would like some help, to come join us, because travel now while you can, while your kids are in the house or your grandkids are in the house before they leave. Take advantage and don't let your life pass you by without doing the things that you had always dreamed of. And if you can save significantly on travel, then you can use those funds for whatever else you want. It can be to do fun things like we just did, to go to sporting events and see comedians and musicians in town, or you might want to save it for a rainy day, or invest it, or splurge on something you wouldn't normally do. You get to choose however you want to use those funds that you save, but you get to enjoy life to the full. So I hope that you're out there doing that, and I hope you're planning to do that for your 2024 and beyond. But we'll move on to this week's topic. So we're going to be talking about the Chase Ink business cards this week, specifically because I love these cards, and I'm going to tell you why they are so helpful if you want to fly for free. So let's start with a brief overview of these cards. There are 4 versions of the Chase Ink business cards, and these cards earn what are called Chase Ultimate Rewards points. And this is the same points currency. It's a flexible points currency, meaning it can be used with a variety of different partners in a variety of different ways. So this is the same currency that the Chase Sapphire Preferred card and the Chase Sapphire Reserve cards earn, if you're familiar with those cards. And these points happen to be one of my favorite flexible points currencies. They just work really well with my simple system. If you want things to be simple, and you want to follow the way I teach it, these are good points to have. So another thing that is great about these cards is they do not count toward the Chase 524 rule. And that rule, as a refresher, just states that Chase won't approve you for any of its cards if you've opened 5 or more cards from any bank in the last 24 months. And just remember that includes those department store cards, Talbot's, Macy's, Old Navy, Home Depot, all of that. The good news, though, is that the Chase business cards don't count as a card opened. So they're never counted as part of that 524 total. So you can add these cards to the mix if you decide you want to, and they're never going to hurt you in regards to this rule. And the reason that they don't count is because Chase doesn't list its business cards on your personal credit report. So they don't affect your credit at all. They do check your personal credit to be approved for these cards, but they don't actually show up on your personal credit report. So I find this actually to be kind of a bummer in that regard, because they could help build your credit score with the credit that's been extended to you on these cards, so long as you're not carrying a balance. The more credit extended to you, the better it is for your credit score. But the good side of it is that keeps them from counting as one of the 5 cards that Chase is looking at to see if they will approve you or not. So each of the 4 Chase Inc. business cards functions a little differently. And there is one of them that I absolutely do not recommend getting, which we'll get to at the end. So hang on till the end if you want to hear which one that is. But we're going to start with the granddaddy of them all, the Chase Inc. Business Preferred. And in my opinion, this is the best card of the bunch because you can do the most with its points, which includes transferring its points to the Chase travel partners. This is the same as you can do with Chase Sapphire Preferred and Chase Sapphire Reserve. So you can transfer them at a 1-to-1 ratio, meaning 1 point in Chase equals 1 point in the travel partner. And those include Southwest, of course, my favorite, British Airways, JetBlue, United, Hyatt, IHG, Marriott, and there's many others. You can use its points to book travel also on almost any airline and with almost any hotel chain directly in Chase's own travel portal. So they have like their own portal, like booking through an Expedia, say. So it's called the Chase Travel Portal, and you can use your points directly in there to book not just flights and hotels with their partners, but with any airline or hotel that's listed in there, which is the majority of them. And if you book through their travel portal with your points, then your points are worth 1.25 cents each, which means you get 1.25 cents worth of travel for every Chase point you collect and then redeem in the portal. So you do better, you get more value out of them. Now, the Inc. Business Preferred also earns, like when you use it to purchase something, it earns 3 points per dollar on travel purchases, which I love that. This is the same as what you get on Chase Sapphire Reserve. And that's actually not a card that I recommend getting anymore. And I've made a note to myself to do a podcast on why that is in the future. But, and the 3 points per dollar on travel is 1 point better than what you get on Chase Sapphire Preferred. So on that card, you get 2 points per dollar on travel. And Chase Inc. Business Preferred also earns 3 points per dollar on the first $150,000 spent per year on shipping, advertising made with social media sites and search engines. So think Facebook advertising, Google ads, and then also for internet, cable, and phone services. And travel's also grouped in that too. So you can spend $150,000 and earn 3 points per dollar on that many purchases every single year. So if you could make that many, that would be 450,000 points. That's a lot, but it's possible. Also, you can earn 5 points per dollar on Lyft rides through March 2025. And who knows, maybe they'll renew that after that time period. But also, when it comes to insurance, this card has some great benefits. It offers primary car rental insurance, which is the best car rental insurance you can have. That means it pays for things first without going to your personal car insurance first, which is going to raise your car insurance if you had anything happen with the car rental. Instead, this card their primary insurance just takes care of it and never goes to your personal car insurance. And that same level of insurance is also available on Chase Sapphire, Preferred, and Reserve. So that's the same on all three. And it does offer trip interruption cancellation insurance as well. But the big reason that we love this card is for its big sign-on bonus. So that has long been 100,000 points. And it's pretty hard to get 100,000 points on many other cards. So that is a big, big chunk of points. The problem, though, is that it's traditionally had a high minimum spend to get those points. It used to be $15,000, which is a lot for most of us. But recently, they've cut that almost in half to $8,000 in the first 3 months. So if you can spend $8,000 in the first 3 months, you'll be rewarded with 100,000 points, and actually at least 8,000 more points for meeting that minimum spend. So that is still a pretty steep minimum spend. But if you can manage that much in expenses in the first 3 months, maybe it's by paying for expenses ahead of time, though I know some of you have businesses that, you're purchasing inventory and supplies or advertising, something like that, where you can cycle through that much of expenses. That might be easier for you. But if you can do that, you can secure a hefty bonus that is extremely flexible in booking all types of travel. And this card does come with a $95 annual fee. Another great thing about this card is each person can get this card for multiple businesses. So for example, if I could get one for my freelance writing, and I could also get one for my family's fly free business, for example, because those are different. You aren't just limited to one card per person, which is the case, say, with the Southwest business cards. You can't get each of a Southwest business card for each business under the same person's name, but you can on these. So each person can have multiple of this card as long as you have different business entities that you can attach to it. One can be a sole proprietorship under your social security number. In fact, all of them be that, or, one could be a corporation, or one could be an LLC, et cetera, or a partnership. Okay, so that's my favorite card, but let's move on to my second favorite Chase Inc. business card, which is Chase Inc. Business Unlimited. Now, this card also comes with a great bonus and a smaller minimum spend than Inc. Business Preferred. As of this recording, the offer is 90,000 points after spending $6,000 in the first 3 months. So you're almost getting as good of a bonus as the Inc. Business Preferred, but you're required to spend $2,000 less, which is helpful. Now, if you look this card up yourself, you're going to say, wait a minute, that's not what the bonus says. And you will be right. It actually says that you will get $900 cash back after a $6,000 minimum spend. So what gives? Well, if you click on the offer details link on this offer, you'll see that usually at the top left, you'll see that the fine print actually says you will receive 90,000 bonus points with this bonus offer, which can be redeemed for $900 cash back. So I don't know why they phrase it that way. I guess they think it's more appealing to get cash back, even though we all know that's not as good of a value as 90,000 points if you know how to use them. But it turns out you actually earn 90,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points, which you could turn into cash back if you wanted. We don't recommend doing that. You will get significantly more value out of these points by using them for travel. But before we get to how to do that, how to get the most out of your points, let me tell you the perks of this card. So the Chase Ink Business Unlimited has no annual fee. That's a perk. And it offers 1.5 points per dollar on all purchases. So I like to use this card for my business purchases that don't earn me 2 or more points per dollar on another card. Like I get 3 points per dollar on the Chase Ink Business Preferred on travel. So I would not use this card for travel purchases, only for things that I can't earn more points on. So it's basically giving you an extra 0.5 point than you'd get on any other card. If I put other expenses on Chase Ink Business Preferred, I'm just going to get 1 point per dollar. If I put it over here, I'm going to get 1.5. I'll take the extra 0.5 point. They add up over time. So this card also, as well, I love this feature, comes with 0% interest on purchases. So any purchases you make for the first 12 months, again, this is as of this recording, so double check that in the future if you're listening to this, but I love that's a great feature, but be aware that the interest rate does go up very high to a variable 18 to basically 25% APR after the first 12 months. So you certainly would not want to carry a balance beyond that point and have to pay the high interest. But if you're a business owner who needs to make an investment, say, to grow your business, this can be a great way to just carry that balance interest-free for 12 months. You do have to make the minimum payments during that time or they start charging you the high interest. So make sure you do that. And of course, you'll want to make sure you pay that balance in full before your 12 months is up, so you don't incur that higher interest. Now, with most of the Chase cards, you can transfer points accrued on the different cards to each other. So for example, I can transfer points that I earn on this card over to my Chase Ink Business Preferred and vice versa. You can transfer them between any of I should say, the cards. We'll get to the one you can't do it with in a bit. But the smartest thing to do here is going to be to transfer all points that I earn in the Chase business ecosystem to either Chase Ink Business Preferred, or I can transfer it to my Chase Sapphire Preferred, or if I had Chase Sapphire Reserve, I could transfer it to that card. So the reason why is because the points that you earn on the Chase Ink Business Unlimited, and we're going to talk about the Chase Ink Business Cash next. It functions the same way. They can't be transferred directly to the Chase travel partners, the ones we talked about, like Southwest and Marriott and Hyatt, etc. And you can use them to book travel in the Chase travel portal, but they will only be worth 1 point each instead of that higher 1.25 cents or even 1.5 cent value you get with Chase Sapphire Reserve. If instead you transfer them to one of the 3 cards I mentioned, you can then take advantage of the higher value of those points in the Chase travel portal, either 1.25 to 1.5 cents each. And when you move them to those cards, you can transfer them from there over to the Chase travel partners. So, for example, if I transfer 1,000 points from Chase Ink Business Unlimited over to Chase Ink Business Preferred, I can now get 1.25 cents of value from them in the Chase travel portal. Whereas if I left them over in Chase Ink Business Unlimited and tried to book in the travel portal, I'd only get 1 cent of value out of them. No need to do that. And so if I move them over to Ink Business Preferred, I can better yet say transfer them to Southwest. And on Southwest, points over there, we move them at a 1-to-1 ratio, are worth 1.5 to 2 cents each. So now we've increased the value of the point from 1.25 in the Chase travel portal to 1.5 to 2 cents by moving them over to Southwest. And then even better, if I have a Southwest companion pass where one person flies free with me on all flights while I have the pass, and we'd love to set you up with a 2-year Southwest companion pass as a member of Families Fly Free, so you have it for as many flights as you want to take in 2024 and 2025, and then we'll show you how to always have one going forward. So if you have this amazingly valuable Southwest companion pass, these points are now worth double. So now we're looking at 3 to 4 cents each. And that's because someone's flying free with you on every flight you take. So that's basically like the cost, you're getting their cost for free. So to 4 cents per value we're talking about here. Now, also approaching this value of Chase points is to use them and transfer them over to Hyatt to book an all-inclusive resort over there. You can get around 3 cents per point out of them if you use them that way as well. So let's just remember that if we had taken the cash back option that Chase is promoting as the sign-up offer, we'd only be getting 1 cent of value out of them. So do you see how much better you do if you know what you're doing and you use these points instead to book travel? You're getting 3 or 4 times the value. So if you go for Chase Ink Business Unlimited or the Chase Ink Business Cash, which I'm going to talk about next, you want to be sure that you pair these cards with either Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Sapphire Reserve, which again, I no longer recommend, or Chase Ink Business Preferred. As long as you have one of those 3 cards, you're going to get the maximum benefit out of your points earned on the Business Unlimited or the Business Cash. So let's move on to card number 3, and that is Chase Ink Business Cash. This card functions exactly the same as the Chase Ink Business Unlimited. It has the same, as of this recording, 90,000 point offer after a $6,000 minimum spend in the first 3 months, and it also carries no annual fee. In addition, it has that same, as of this recording, 0% interest for the first 12 months on all purchases, and then resets to that 18 to 25% variable interest rate afterward. But its points earning categories are a little different. That's what makes it a valuable card. So instead of 1.5 points per dollar on all purchases that you would get on the unlimited, you get 5 points per dollar on office supply and internet, cable, and phone services on the first $25,000 spent per year in those categories. So a lot of people like to go buy gift cards at office supply stores and get 5 points per dollar for Chase out of them. And then you buy gift cards for things that you're going to be using anyway. You're going to be purchasing anyway for your groceries, for your gas, Disney, all those kind of things. And you also get 2 points per dollar on the first $25,000 spent at gas stations and restaurants on this card. So that's really the 2 areas that you can earn extra points on this particular card. So before we get to the last card, which you should not get, I want to share how I use the Chase Ink business cards. So this year, 2023, I ended up getting all 3 of the cards I've told you about for my business. And I used the combination of points to book a luxury hotel in Paris, the Hotel du Louvre, literally next to the Louvre. If you haven't heard me say that, we looked out our window and look directly at the amazing facade of the Louvre out of our hotel room. And it's fantastic location if you want to go to Paris and be close to the left bank, the right bank, and a lot of the things there are to do there. So, and we did that. That saved us $5,000, which is amazing. So these cards are not part of my Fly Free process that I teach inside of the family's Fly Free membership, but they are extras that you can add if you want, and especially to splurge like I did with the hotel, for example. Certainly you can use these points to book free flights, but we find that they're not necessary. You're going to have enough points just following my Fly Free formula to book all your flights for free. And these can be used for to get additional travel for free, or to splurge a little bit, or maybe you want to fly first class somewhere, and that's going to take more points. That'd be a good use of these points. And they're just a great way to build your Chase points balance with your small business, if you have your own small business of some sort. So I keep this trio of cards, and use them for my business. So I use the Chase Inc. Business Preferred for travel expenses because it earns 3 points per dollar. So it earns more than Chase Sapphire Preferred for me. And it comes with the insurance benefits that I like. I use it for Lyft rides where I can get 5 points per dollar. And I use it for any social media advertising that I would be doing. I use Chase Inc. Business Cash for dining because I can get double points on dining with that one. And for internet and phone and office supply purchases. And then finally, I use the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited for everything else. And so that's probably the card that I use the most. So for everything that doesn't categorize as a way to earn more points, I go ahead and use it for this. And so then I'm getting an extra half a point on all of my regular business expenses. So that really helps build my points balance for splurges like I'm have shared through my business expenses alone. Okay, so let's move on to the card you do not want to get. Write this one down. It is the Chase Inc. Business Premier. Just make sure you don't confuse yourself that that is the card that you want to get. You don't. So this is a newer card from Chase that sounds good, but it's not. This is why you need podcasts and such, so we can tell you the real truth of it about what you need and what you don't. So the reason it sounds great is it also has a 100,000 point bonus. So you look at it and go, oh, this is an easy way to get another 100,000 points. But you have to spend $10,000 to get it. And its points are not flexible. So with this card, you cannot transfer your points to any other card. The way I mentioned, like unlimited and cash, we can transfer to Chase Sapphire Preferred or Chase Inc. Business Preferred and vice versa. This one is not in the mix. You can't move its points anywhere. They have to sit with it. So that means that you only get 1 cent of value out of them. You can't move them to another card where you get more value. You cannot transfer them to any travel partners at all because you can't move them to a card that allows you to do that. And you also can't combine its points with another card for a bigger purchase. So for example, I could not have combined its 100,000 points with points I'd earned on other cards to book my Paris hotel. So it's very, very limiting. You only get 1 cent of value out of them. And you have to somehow come up with a way to just use its points without combining them with anything else. Now, it gives you 2.5 points per dollar on purchases of $5,000 or more, and then 2 points per dollar on everything else. But this card requires that you pay your balance in full every month. I say skip this one. It's no good. And if you really need another 100,000 points, get yourself another Chase Inc. Business Preferred card for a different business and get the 100,000 point bonus that way. So that's what I have to tell you today about the Chase Inc. business cards. They are a great option for many, many reasons. And if you have any kind of small business, definitely consider one at a time adding some of these cards into the mix and start putting your small business spending on them to help fund your family's free travels. All right, everyone, I'm recording this just before Halloween, so I hope you have a great Halloween and I will see you next week. If you're ready to fly your family free forever, I invite you to join my Families Fly Free membership. You'll learn how to stop paying for airfare throughout the US, Caribbean, and Europe so you can make those priceless family travel memories before your kids or even your grandkids leave home for good. And you'll learn it using my simple, proven formula that's helped hundreds of families. Plus, it's risk-free. You either get your investment in the membership back in free travel, or I give you your money back. You can get more information at familiesflyfree.com/join.